Welcome back. Welcome back, everyone, to the other bourbon. I'm Jerry, your host of the show, and it's too nice to be inside, so I have relocated from the log cabin all the way out here to the garage. Hopefully the lighting stays steady. I'm recording this on my iPhone instead, so here's hoping it all works out. So tonight, I'm going to start off with the glaring question, where are all the level ups this season? Now we've had one with the Jim Beam single barrel, that's been the only one so far. And I mean, Jim just doesn't make stuff with Jim Beam on the bottle, right? True, but let's take a second to talk the rules of the show. We're trying to contain the reviews of a season to that particular brand. So even though Jim Beam's parent company, Beam Suntory, owns Maker's Mark, Knob Creek, Basil Hayden, Baker's, Booker's, Legend, Scotches, and tons of other stuff, those will all have to wait for their own seasons. However, there are exceptions to the rule. If a bottle is closely tied to the brand, but doesn't explicitly say on the bottle that it is that brand, we're going to allow it to join the ranks. And tonight's bottle is one of those exceptions. Although it's not a Jim Beam bottle, it was a distillery exclusive until just a few years ago when it was announced as a limited release. You know what one I'm talking about. Limited release, but you're not going to have a hard time finding this anywhere. This is our first bottled and bond in the Jim Beam series, and at $20 you may be tempted to pick up what seems like a collector-ish bottle. Now if you're not familiar with the Old Tub name, then you didn't watch episode 1 of the Jim Beam season. So do yourself a favor, go back and watch the first episode, and then rejoin us here. So we've got a formerly distillery exclusive, bottled and bond, sour mash, Heritage Heralding Bourbon Bonanza, but is it worth your $20? Well, for starters, it's upgraded with the car. On the nose, I get all wood. And for taste, I get all wood. And peanuts. What a mystery taster get. God darn it. I'll record mystery taster later. Mystery taster said it was less sweet and a little more nutty neat, but had more alcohol and heat, woody, and a chemical note with ice. But I gotta say, as the bottle is opened up, it gets a lot more buttery. More of the vanilla comes through, and a little bit of extra caramel. It doesn't taste so much like I'm licking the inside of a peanut bag. So if you've watched any of the other whiskey channels, you know there's a little bit of division on this, and if you know me at all, you might know where this is heading. It's a 2. And here's why. You gotta blind taste it. When it comes to these cheap and limited releases, you kind of get tempted to score it higher than you normally would. But after blinding this several times, Old Tub kind of just swaps spots back and forth with the White Label and Devil's Cut. And since neither of those are making their way to a 3 score, this can't either. However, this tasting here in front of the camera, I gotta admit, was a little better than I remember. Again, when it's standing alone. However, if you blind it against something else, I'm sure it's a different story. So if this truly were a very limited release, I would say sure, why not, go get it. It'd be a cool collectible bottle. But it's been lingering on the shelves for a while, and I think for a good reason. And yours truly will not be picking up another one. But as I said, there is a difference in opinion in this one, and my opinion is just mine. So if you do have a chance, I would say try it before you buy it. And unfortunately, since we're not ranking bottles with a score of 2 or lower, you know exactly where this is heading. Now normally I script out all the episodes, but we have a surprise entry today. This past weekend, we're up in Fargo visiting my stepson, and he told us about this grocery store that he always goes to, and we decided to give it a shot. And we checked out the liquor store. And I walk in, and lo and behold, we found a level up. Jim Beam, bottled in bond. Now, this, as far as I know, is not made anymore. I have never once seen this in a store. Yet this particular store had them, not just had them, but had several, along with a bunch of other old bottles that I was very tempted to maybe pick up just because of the fact of I'll never see those bottles again. Now, I've only had one sip of this, as you can tell. It was late Saturday night, so let's dive in and see what we find out. Oh, and by the way, a nice little screw cap. I should also mention, I haven't even shot the footage for this bottle yet because we literally just got it. Now, maybe it's because I'm on an empty stomach. Maybe it's because I just had Old Tub. But my goodness, this is so sweet. And it's Jim Beam, but in a good way. What's a little heartbreaking is it's discontinued, as far as I know. So we all have to admit, it's been a rough season. We got lots of twos-ish 3 maybe here, and we've only had one solid 3. I know I said it last time, but we really do just have one more bottle to go. Jim Beam ain't no quitter. Don't give up hope. Subscribe and turn on notifications, buddy, and don't miss any episodes of... Let me just repeat myself one more time. This was really cool to find.